Okay, so finding a spot to put this camera was literally the hardest challenge ever, and so I'm just gonna have to hold it because I have nothing to put it up with. But I just wanted to, again, try and get back into making videos, and like finish my video journal because it really helps me a lot to speak and understand things that way instead of having everything stuck and jumbled inside my head. And that just gives me stress and anxiety, and so yeah. I don't remember what number this is, but it's been like a month or two since I last did one of these where I actually talked. Right now I'm sitting at this new park in the parking lot while Amir is sleeping. And yeah, I'm glad I found this little spot. I can't wait till they're done with construction because the park is really nice and it has like a really huge ass field and a lot of places to just walk. So what I'm probably gonna do after he wakes up is we're gonna go for a walk. But I guess I just kind of wanted to speak out what I would write down in a journal, and so right now I feel like very optimistic actually. I still feel a kind of heaviness about the future and like where I'm going and stuff. I don't know. I just feel like I've been everywhere with like my decisions and things, but right now I feel like I've been guided that my next step is gonna be going to Kansas again. And honestly, I feel good about it. For a while I wasn't sure how to feel about that decision, but I'm glad that I've made it and I'm taking steps to actually getting there, because my overall goal is to go to Kansas, start and build my business again, and really work on making 39, which is my new business name, flourish, and really taking it off of the ground. And I had so much experience this last like year and a half, 2 years with running Sacred Beauty, and now I really feel like 39 is what I'm meant to do. What Sacred Beauty was helping me to get started is 39, and so that's what I want to start in Kansas, and I want to get my van and build my van, and from there is when I want to go and travel. I want to build my van from there and travel, and so yeah, that's really the goal. And I think that it's going to be refreshing and nice and good for me to be able to be in a place by myself. That is my goal. Is I'm trying to get my own apartment. I don't want to be rooming with anybody. I don't want to do any of that. I want it to be for me, so I can finally have a space to call my own, where it's my own energy, my own everything that's put into it. And I just want to put in love into this place, and I want it to be just filled with things that I love only, and things that I want to put in there, and I want to have it decorated the way I want to decorate it, and I just want to experience having my own place with me and Amir together. And I feel like that's going to be very healing for me, and it's going to be a time that is just peaceful. I can feel it. I can feel how I would be able to just be free again in my own space, and right now it's just been so heavy having to stay with my brother, even though I'm grateful I'm grateful that I even was able to have a place. I'm grateful that I manifested that. Throughout all the challenges, it helped me grow as a person. Being here has helped me seriously feel more secure in myself and find who I am. And, it was painful. It was very painful, but I think going through this has really transformed me in such a beautiful way. And so I can't really complain about it, this experience, even though, like, I really did have heavy resentment for my brother, my mom, everyone who wasn't there for me, everyone who treated me bad, the lies, the manipulation, all of it. And but at the end of the day, now I can finally see that it benefited me, because I don't know, I just feel like I know how to, no matter what happens, I am okay with me. And I know that whatever happens, I can forgive myself. I can turn around and forgive other people. I know that about myself. And I know what hurts me. I know what I don't want to put up with anymore. I know just everything about how, even like down to what routines I need to have to feel good about my days. I learned that because I completely had no routine for the longest, and that was just terrible. And I still don't really have a routine right now, but like, I know the importance of it. I just feel like this time has let me learn a lot, and I'm ready. I'm so ready to move on and to cultivate myself and cultivate my business and move into this next chapter. And I'm like honestly getting emotional. I feel very strongly that this chapter is closing and that I'm like ready to move on. And so, man, I have goals that I'm working on for myself, and I just really want to cultivate that. Today was hard. Today was a hard day. I woke up late, for one, and I should have just gotten up early in the morning, but I woke up late again, and we didn't get up until literally 10:30, almost 11 o'clock when I got out of bed, and with Amir. And just having myself wake up at that time really does not set for a good start to the day, I'm realizing. Because after we have been sick for these past 2 weeks, it's just been like threw me off. Like, I was starting to maybe feel like I was gonna go back into since the beginning of the month, and I was feeling that, but then once I got sick, I got thrown off, and now I'm trying to regroup. And today it was hard. I found myself just procrastinating, which builds stress, and I don't know. It took a lot for me to get out of the house and here to this park where I'm gonna go for a walk when Amir wakes up. Because this is part of, I wrote down my list, so I did get some stuff done. So, I wrote down my list, and I called in my apartment, and I did all this. Now I feel like I'm just rambling, but, I guess all that doesn't even really matter too much. I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that I'm trying to make this video. God. Yeah. Mother's Day was yesterday. I just need to really make time to create more plans for myself. And that's another thing. I want to start being more independent. I really find myself falling into old patterns and like of like codependency. That's been really hard for me to get out of. Is being codependent on other people. It's been really hard for me to get out of that like whole mindset and stuff. So I'm going to try and take some more risks and do some more things by myself. Because I don't know why I always feel like in order for me to take Amir on a hike, I have to go with my sister or go with somebody else. You know, it's easier for me to do it when somebody else is with me. But when I'm by myself, I'm totally capable of doing it. And it would make me feel great to just go and go on a hike or something. But like, I just don't. I don't know why. It's like I talk myself out of it in my head and I just end up staying, and that just makes me feel bad. Like, it just makes me feel like shit that I can't go when I can go by myself and do these things with Amir. But I'm gonna work on it, and I'm really gonna master being independent and not codependent, because it's something that's really holding me back. It's that fear. It's just taking over sometimes, and I hate that. I let myself just be stagnant sometimes, but I'm working through it, and I know that will change. But yeah, so that's kind of been what's going on. I'm working on my poetry. I really need to write more and write like every day, because I have so many goals, and one of them for this year is finishing my poetry book. And that is like honestly terrifying for me too, to be putting out a poetry book, because it's just these poems are so sacred to me. And like, I don't know, let me see if I can read one really quickly. It might help me feel better, feel good, period. Boom. So this one is called Secret Seduction, or maybe, I don't know what it's called, but it's just this small little poem in my book that I wrote, and I didn't write a date, but I'll have to write the year. It says, "My vices sing me a song of sweet secret seduction. Its siren lulls me back again." And that is about my vice of eating. I wrote that because I was feeling really bad that I was not eating healthy, and I haven't been making the right choices, and I know that food is something that comforts me when I'm stressed out, or like it's a vice that I'm trying to work on. And so that's how that one came up. There's this really nice one that I like, that I wrote somewhere randomly in here. I want to find it. I shall find it. Somewhere here. Well, I can't find that. Well, maybe I will find it. I was gonna read another one, but I'm still gonna look for it. Oh yeah, this is one I just wrote the other day. It says this one's like, what do I call it? Like a piece of this poem. It's just like a practice part. The title of the poem is The Voice of Reason. I always write the titles first for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, it's called The Voice of Reason, and this is like a piece of it. It goes, the voice of reason will tell you to ignore the voice of your heart. To chase a path, reassurement, of reassurement bound by the praise of a crowd of strangers. Let me read that again. It says, the voice of reason will tell you to ignore the voice of your heart, to chase a path of reassurement bound by the praise of a crowd of strangers. And that one, the voice of reason, is going to be about social norms and like expectations of other people's expectations of you, and that being the voice of reason. Like it's reasonable if you do this, and when you know, like, say you have in your mind a goal or a path that you want to go down, but it's not normal to, I guess, society, and it's like different from that path that most people go on. And so when you tell them, they say, oh, well, you shouldn't do that because this and that, or you should do this instead, or here's all the reasons why this is crazy as shit and you shouldn't do it and you're gonna fail. Or, and so many different versions of that happen. And that is what the voice of reason is about. That it's about the voice of other people, and it's that voice. I feel like I have so many goals and paths that is not conventional, not by anything, by any generation. Like, you know how there's an older generation and they do it this way or whatever. I have so many goals that go against everything like that, and that break generational cycles. And so I try and tell my family, or I've tried in the past, tell them what my goals are, what I think is success for me. And they'll be like, well, I don't know about that. I don't think da-da-da-da-da. And that is what that poem is about. I think I just found it. This is a poem that I liked a lot. And that I wrote randomly one day when I was sitting on the couch. I remember I was watching Amir play, and this is what I wrote. My days have merged into sweet, timeless moments. The days of the week no longer exist, there is only now. The loud sounds of quiet things, the ringing in my ear. Oh, Amir, how marvelous you are. I sit and listen to you jump and dance and play. I tune into your joyful sounding murmurs and wonder what you'll say. And that was my poem. And I loved that. And it just incorporated my quietness, the quietness I was feeling at the time, and how special it is to be watching Amir. And I wrote down the date. This one was when he was still 1. It was right before his birthday on March 3rd, 2022. Birthday. And then there was this poem that has like a writing with it. And it says, how can you spot it, the change that time inevitably brings? How can you see the decay of an old painting that lays in its glass frame as if untouched by time? Are you able to tune in close enough to see the new becoming old, the clouds moving through the skies, the smell of new beginnings? Can you spot it? The ever-consuming touch of time, the change in me. And now I know exactly where I was. I was sitting out by the lake, Lake Arbor in Arvada, and I hadn't gone to the house where my parents and everyone was, my family was, for like 2 months. because I was just hurt by them. Well, my mom and my dad, and I was just over it, and I decided that I was done. And so the night before, I was looking through my picture book of pictures I had printed out. My son was looking at it with me, and we saw a picture of my mom and the boys, my brothers, and my sisters and my dad. And Amir just started crying, and he misses them so much. And so I went there the next day, and they were all like, "Oh my God, Rachel, hi!" Blah, 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 blah. Well, my siblings were like that, and then yeah, they were all so happy to see me, you know. And so, but then I had left because I gave myself a boundary. I was like, okay, if I go, I'm only gonna stay here for like an hour or so. And so I left, and then I went and sat at the lake, and I wrote that poem to see, because I had done a lot of growing, a lot of writing, a lot of releasing, and I felt the change that release had brought. And so I wrote that poem after, see if they noticed the boundaries I had set with them. Obviously they didn't, but like that was the whole thing. It was like, I know you didn't notice the little things. And yeah, that was that. So that's what that poem's about. I don't know if these poems are gonna make it into my book, but there's just some that I like. There are a couple though that I really love that I can't believe I wrote sometimes. And those will be in my book. And, yeah. Obviously. But yeah. So that's just what's been going on with me. Yeah, I still sound a little sick, which is so annoying because I feel like every single time I get nasally or whatever, like my voice goes low, like down like 2 octaves, and I sound like a man. But it's okay. Oh well. My masculine energy coming through. Woo. And I still need to work on my book, my illustrations to Mom's book. Oh my God. That has been, I need to take a day, a whole day, and just do art all day. So that I can start getting something done. That way I can have a place to go ahead and build from, you know what I mean? But yeah. Alright, well, it's been like 20 minutes, so I'm gonna go. Be back.